and welcome to another week of Daily Devotions. This week we're talking about nefarious characters in the Bible. What? Yeah, so people who are kind of morally questionable and do some strange things. So the first week, today we're Fat King Eglon from the book of Judges. What? So King Eglon's a Moabite king and has been oppressing the Israelites for 18 years. Taking tribute from them, the Israelites are terrified of him. And they cry out, as happens in the book of Judges all the time, help us, God. Because it reads in the book of Judges that everybody forgot about God and everybody did as they pleased. Again, this is 4,000 years ago. It's not today. Or is it? But anyway, everybody's doing whatever they think is right. So they call out to God, and up comes Ehud. Ehud is a lefty. Now, this isn't like the nuns, if you grew up in the Catholic school, smacking on the left hand, you're a devil child because you're lefty. And it was seen very much as a stigma of being wrong. And maybe some of that comes from the idea that in Israel, I hate to get graphic, but when you relieved yourself, when you did a number 2, you had to take a dump, your left hand's your wiping hand. You don't use your right hand because you eat with your right hand, you greet with your right hand, you fight with your right hand. That's why God is always talking about the strength of God's right arm or God's right hand. Not the left, because the left was seen as dirty or less than. So why is it so important that Judges 3 mentions that Ehud's a lefty? Well, Ehud is going to give tribute to God and give tribute to King Eglon, the tribute that Israel owes them, the Moabites. And so he shows the bodyguards, as he's walking through, security, his right hand and his left thigh where the sword would be drawn. Well, it's empty. I got nothing here. I'm just here, to see the king, give him a message and give him the tribute from Israel. So he goes into the king's anteroom, and the king is there being relieved in the cool of the day, i.e. the king's got a toilet in the throne room, and he is literally relieving himself. And Ehud says, King, I've got a secret for you. Come here. Come here. And the king leans in, and Ehud, lefty that he is, has a dagger hidden on his right thigh. Ho-ho! They didn't check the right. He pulls it out, stabs the fat king through his bowels, and the Hebrew reads, the dagger goes through the fat, closes around him, and the excrement, the poop, literally scared the poop out of him, comes out of the blade. Oh. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. Go read Judges. Ehud leaves through the toilet window, or through the toilet, one of the two. It doesn't really, he escapes through the bathroom chamber. The soldiers are on the outside, the bodyguards, and they're thinking to themselves, man, this guy's been in here for a long time. What's going on there? Should we go in? No, he's probably, he doesn't like to be disturbed when he's on the throne. Yes, I said that. And they say maybe he's just relieving himself in the cool of the day because he usually, this time of day, he's got his paper. There's a lot of humor in this. The Israelites are reading this saying, this fat, obese king who's been living off of everything that he's taken from us, all those goods and produce, he's bleeding us dry. And Ehud goes and takes him out in an assassination. And it's this crazy story about an oppressive king, a nefarious king, and a judge who God sends to save the day in a moment when the poop hits the fan too soon. Anyway, that's the story of the judge Ehud and the way that God hears the Israelites' prayers when they're up against the wall. But again, the warning of every frame of the book of Judges is after people prayed to God and God helped them, they went back to business as usual. They forgot God, and everybody just did as they pleased. I look around, there's a lot of people just doing whatever they please. Not a good way to stay connected to God. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our first nefarious character of the week. There's more to come, so stay tuned.